when I thought about writing my first book, my physician at the time was completely dedicated to preventive medicine, functional medicine. His name was Dr. Rogers in Vancouver. I used to meet with him once a month, never when I was sick, to talk about life, talk about me. And he was a remarkable man because health was his major objective in life. His life was not dedicated to saving people, it was to saving himself first. So he saw 3 people in the morning, each never less than an hour. When's the last time you saw a doctor and do you spend an hour?
No.
Okay, he's an MD in the system. That is the only way, he said, that you can help anybody ever achieve anything related to health. It's impossible if you don't spend time with them. Absolutely impossible. And a lot of it's emotion, as you all know. So then he would take a 2-hour lunch. Now he's an MD in the system in Vancouver, and he would do yoga, he would do weight training, he would do sauna, cleansing, detoxification, have a wonderful, sedative, calming lunch, only because he knew that most doctors die 10 years before all of us do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so toxic, that lifestyle. So he thought, I'm not going to die trying to save people. That's completely illogical and actually quite stupid.
So he must have been a very intelligent man to figure that out.
He was a very kind man.
Wow.
Unbelievably kind. And everyone loved him when he passed away. So he actually wrote the foreword for my book. And I will send all of you a copy of that book in PDF and in audio format. I don't know if any of you listen to books audio, but audible.com has hundreds of thousands of them. And this is the new way to read a book, because you can listen to the same book in a weekend that might take you a month to read. And reading is very important, listening is very important, and looking at videos. That's the best way to learn. Anyway, the recipe is based on watching my mother as a child make things in the kitchen. And there was always a recipe that she used to take out and follow. And the objective was the cake or the meatloaf or whatever it was. But she had a strategy, a format. And I'm going to arguably state that most people do not have a strategy in their life that they're conscious of, that they're working towards. Health as the outcome, as the objective. That the sole objective of my life is to be well. As opposed to making money or working in the mill or saving the whales or whatever it is that you're doing, but somehow health on a personal level gets shoved deep down inside a dark well. And we live in an environment where self-sacrifice is elevated as more important than anything else, including your own life and health. So what you do is you dedicate your life to saving everyone else. Most mothers do this with their kids. And then they're left laying there on the ground, crippled, mangled, inflamed, damaged, depressed, unhappy, and the kids are outside playing, kicking a ball, and don't even care. So we do it to ourselves. I teach a philosophy where you do not neglect yourself. I like to breathe with my nose, because humans are nose breathers, and we eat with our mouths. You ever seen a person eat with their nose? No. Too many people never breathe correctly. Now, one of the things I love about yoga is, and I do yoga, I went to India to study it, and I learned how far away I was from even knowing how to breathe correctly. And get down deep with that diaphragm and relax. But getting back to my paradigm of life as a sport, okay, we're all athletes engaged in the sport of life. Here's how I see it. I love sport, I love the preparation, I love the skill training, I love overcoming the monotony in my own mind, I love finding out my faults, my limitations, and I know that I've got to show up to excel and be good at my sport. Any of you play any sports, or have you ever played a sport in your life? Okay, so if you were in sports in school or high school or college, or you had to show up. You were let go if you didn't show up. Okay, a lot of people aren't showing up in the game of life.
Yeah.
They're not participating.
Yeah.
Okay, now you also know that to get good at your sport, they play 5 times a week, they play for hours at home, they go to tournaments, and they do skill training behind the scenes. When you see them in a tournament, you don't see all the thousands of hours of skill training they put in. Now, how much time are you putting in to your health? Because it's exactly the same. Health is something you have to work at. You have to work at being well more than ever in the history of the world, because we're surrounded by the wrong food. We're surrounded by a sedentary-focused society and a movement through media that's encouraging us to do all the wrong things. Somehow we get forgotten in the entire process. Otto Warburg won 2 Nobel Prizes. He found that cancer cells proliferate in the absence of oxygen. And as you age, if you never move, run, swim, cycle, never, your capacity to diffuse oxygen goes down by about 2 to 5% every year. So by the time you're 60, the same air that you breathed in when you were 15 is half the amount of oxygen getting into your cells. Half.